Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mosh and I like to build spaceships. Today we have another fighter. This was a request from one of my subscribers. I believe his name is Gent Halcyon. He wanted to see a Saab J35 DRAKEN, so that is what we will be building today. This is a C-class ship. We have the stats up here. The only thing that's different about these stats is I changed the ballistic weapons to particle beam weapons. Other than that, everything's the same. So let's just get right to this one. So we're going to start with our fuselage. The topmost piece is going to be all Hope Tech, and the bottom part is all Tayo, except for the Docker. Dymo Slim Docker, it's back, and the Dymos Landing Bay, my two favorites, staples of the channel. So let's go ahead and assemble our cockpit. Typical cockpit, we have our Nova Cowling 2L. With the Hope Tech cockpit on the top, I'm using the Commander 500 bridge. Bring another Nova 2L, flip it into place, tab it down. For the topmost part, this is going to be 6 Hope Tech companionway fuselages. The 4 in the middle are all C's. The one in the front is a B, and the one in the back is a D. The difference is this rounded bit here. The B, it rounds in the front, D, it rounds in the back, C has connections both ways. So we can go ahead and just stick these on. So we'll go 1B, 1, 2, 3, and 4 C's, and a D at the very end. We will come back and put all our internals in once we get this put together. So for our underside, we are going to use the NG20 Nova landing gear right behind the Nova Cowling. Behind that, we're going to do a Tayo companionway bottom B, rounded on the bottom with the door on the side. We'll go ahead and duplicate that down twice. And this will help us get our sensors in there. We're going to use the Tayo forward sensors to cover the landing gear. Just go ahead and put this one on the bottom. Duplicate it up once, duplicate it up twice. Get rid of the bottom 2 and the bottom 2 companionways. Put our infamous Slim Docker on the bottom of this first companionway here. Do another Tayo companionway bottom B, again rounded with the doors. Behind it, go ahead and throw our fuel tank on. This is going to attach to this companionway here. This is the H30 Atlas. We're going to end up covering this with the wing. Next we have a Tayo all-in-one 2x1 bottom A, rounded on the bottom, no doors. This is going to go right behind the last companionway. And to cap it off, we have our Dymos Landing Bay flipped backwards right at the end. On the free connection point of the landing bay, we're going to bring our Hope Tech pipes 4. These are going to be facing backwards, like so. Next, we're going to use the variant and flip glitches to tuck away all of our internals. So we will pull off our first fuselage C piece. This will be the second hob behind the cockpit. Go ahead and throw our shield in here. I'm using the Assurance 1800. We can bring our companionway back, swap variants, and drop it in. Next we have our grav drive, reactor, and a few structural pieces that are going to support the tail fins and the engines. So first we are going to need to highlight our 2x1 and the Hope Tech companionway in the front portion of it. We'll drag these off. Go ahead and put our grav drive where it needs to be. I'm using the J52 Gamma. Next we can put our 2x1 back. Do a little variant swap, drop it in. Now we can bring our companionway back, same thing, variant, variant, drop it in. We will pull off the companionway behind it. We will bring our Pinch 8Z reactor to the topmost and duplicate it down. Get rid of this one. Before we put the companionway back on, we're going to add a little structural piece to support the tail fins. As you can see, this reactor does not have a connection point on the top, so we need to give it one. So we'll bring in a Tayo cowling, flipped upside down, and we'll just flip glitch that right where it needs to be. Now we can bring our companionway back, variant, variant, drop it down. The tail fins and engines are where it gets a little weird. I'm going to be using 2 Supernova 2200s stacked, so you're only going to be able to see the thrust from one, but it'll be 2 stacked together. The first one we can go ahead and throw on our Hope Tech pipes on the bottom connection point. so leave this one open. Next, we will pull off our rearmost companionway. Going to place a tile spine B. This is the one with the connection points on the top and bottom. We're going to duplicate this up, I believe, 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We can go ahead and put our companionway back. Variant, variant, drop it in. Now for this engine, go ahead and bring it up all the way. Duplicate, drop, duplicate, drop, duplicate, drop. So now we can get rid of the top 3 engines and the top 3 spines. Now to put the tail fins on, we have 3 sections. So for our first fin, we're going to have the Dymo spine F. This is the one that slightly slopes forward. We'll bring that over to where we put the Taio cowling hidden in here. Bring it over, flip, flip, drop it down. Cap it off with the Dymo spine E facing forward, and that's the first section, right above the reactor. For the next piece, we have the Taio spine hidden in here. So again, we'll bring a Dymo spine F, flip, flip, drop it in. Another Dymo spine F on top, and on top of that, a Dymo spine E. So as a support for this fin, we're going to use another Taio spine B, place it here. We will variant, variant, drop it in. Same thing as before with the spine F, put it on, flip, flip, tab or B if you're on console to put it in place. One more spine F on top of that, and the final spine E. Now that we have the fuselage done, we can start on the wings. So for the wings, these are largely Stroud pieces. Dymo's braking engine, couple Nova cowlings on the side, Dymo's wings. But Stroud landing gear, Stroud mid bracers, nose cap. So to start, we will bring in a Stroud mid bracer right behind the fuel tank. So this will be connected to the grav drive. In front of that, we will bring our Stroud nose cap and just flip glitch it into place like so. Behind the Stroud mid bracer, we will do one more mid bracer, followed by the AccuLander 11 landing gear. On top of the landing gear, I'm going to put a Taio equipment plate. This is just because I wanted to kind of make this look as much as I could color-wise to the Swedish flag, like you see below here. One more mid-bracer behind that, capped off with a Hope Tech nose B. Next, to extend it out, we will bring in 2 more Stroud mid-bracers on the back, like so. Can cap those off with a Nova cowling 2L. To give the wings a little bit more slope, we're going to use a Dymo's wing E facing forward, kind of sloping towards the front. I'm going to put it right on the nose cap. We'll take one more wing facing backwards, put it right behind. Next, we can bring in another Nova 2L. Go ahead and flip that and drop it into place. For our intakes, we will bring in a Stroud cap A. This gets a little finicky. Put it in place, we'll flip it. It'll show that it's there, but it'll go above it, which is fine because we need this to glitch this into place as well. So we'll leave it there, duplicate it down, drop it. So before we put our braking engine on to cap this off, we're going to have to put our weapon underneath here. For this weapon, I'm going to use the Obliterator Alpha Beam. And just attach it like so. Bring in our nose cap, put it on the one on top, duplicate, drop, get rid of the 2 top pieces. We can go ahead and throw our weapons on the wing. I'm going to be using an Obliterator Auto Alpha Beam. I'm going to put that on the front of this cowling. I'm going to use the 280C missile launcher on the back of the cowling. For our nose weapon, another Obliterator Auto Alpha Beam right underneath the front cowling. This will be the same thing for this wing. So we can go ahead and bring our Stroud nose cap upside down, Stroud mid bracer behind that, another Stroud mid bracer, AccuLander 11 capped off with a Taio equipment plate, one more mid bracer, and a Hope Tech nose B. Next we have 2 more mid bracers, capped off with a Nova cowling 2LPF. SF, starboard, not port. Can do our Dymo's wings. Gonna do an E facing forward on the nose cap, and an E facing backwards behind it. Nova Cowling 2L SF, flip, flip, drop it in. Stroud Cap A, flip it around a couple times, drop it, duplicate it down, drop it, go ahead and pop our alpha beam on there, bring our braking engine to the top one, duplicate that down, drop it. Get rid of these pieces, go ahead and throw on our wing armaments, auto alpha beam in the front, 280 missiles in the rear. And there you have it, the Saab J35 DRAKEN. This is a fun one. You guys know I like building military aircraft and fighter jets. I had a really fun time painting this one. I tried to get it pretty close to the picture down here. Obviously it's a little hard to do the flags, but I tried to do the colors, tried to get our little ghost friend on the tail here. I think it turned out pretty good. I enjoyed the paint job on this one, enjoyed doing the detail work, so hope you guys enjoyed this one as well. Still have the Macross Valkyrie coming up, along with a Super Valkyrie version of that, and I think I'm going to be doing my first modded build soon. I want to take a crack at a V22 Osprey with the Firefly VTOL mod, because I've had my eye on that for a long time. I think I'm going to give that a try. Unfortunately, I am out of fan submissions at this point, so please guys, if you use these tutorials, send me pictures. I would love to feature them in the next video. Make sure you guys check me out on Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, all the usual socials. Look at Smosh. And yeah, stay tuned for the next one. Should be a good one. Until next time, guys.